Good morning. Robin Burning here with Blissful Healing Spiritual Life Coaching, and we are on day 40. Can you believe it? Of our daily practices of our spiritual playbook. We're on page 123, and today's so important. This is a great exercise, and this is I just can't tell you guys, so important in being in alignment with your authentic self, getting to the root of your essence and who you are, and being in touch with your divinity, all of these things, right? So today's activity is I will be honest. I think that there's a lot of times that we will go through our day and be a little dishonest and not even realize it. And it can be a simple, usually it's not the big stuff. Like the big stuff we know when we're not being honest, but there could be little things where we're not being honest. So there's a little bit of a differentiation here. So there's a couple of aspects of this. So one of the aspects that Linda touches on in here is that sometimes not speaking the whole thought process and withholding some of the information is not being dishonest. Sometimes, in your opinion, might be more respectful to somebody if you were to withhold a little bit of information and just speak what is pertinent to the conversation. Okay, so the way that she talks about that is check in with yourself. Do you feel like you're being deceptive, or do you feel ultimately just that you are being honest, right? So just check in with yourself. That's what's important, is checking in with how you feel. If you are withholding information and you're feeling deceptive about it, you might want to check in with that. If you're withholding information out of respect for somebody and it's really not being deceptive, then energetically, that's okay, right? As long as you're feeling right about it. Okay, so it's important to check in. But if you have that little twinge that says you're being deceptive, you probably are. Okay, so we talk about here, or I should say Linda does in the book, that to really open up spiritually and intuitively, we need to be authentic. That it's important because that's going to serve us. Our authenticity is going to serve us when it comes to being in touch with ourselves. Because ultimately, if we're being deceptive with other people, then we're likely being deceptive with ourselves as well. And I had a situation come up. This was about a week or two ago, and I'll share it. I'll try and make it quick. A friend of mine asked me to do a favor for her, and this is a type of friend that I would do anything for her. Like, she is a great friend. I love her dearly and I want to help her with this. But it did involve some other people in the asking of the favor. And asking the other people to be a part of this, and it made me uncomfortable. And I really felt that it was going to create some stress. So going back to previous practices and being true to ourselves and self-care. And remember, sometimes I said just saying no is a form of self-care. So just sit with it for a couple of days and think about how I wanted to answer her, because there was this part of me over here that wanted to say, yes, I want to help you so much. Let's do this. And there's the other part over here that said, this is going to create some stress and I really don't need that right now. And so I needed to be honest with myself first. And then once I came to the conclusion of what the right answer was for me, then I had to go to my friend and be honest with her. And she was very loving and accepting, and it wasn't a big deal at all. And now I feel good. She feels good. And there was no underlying tension that I just let fester inside of me. Okay, so I hope that makes sense in the whole honesty aspect. So you really, like, when you need to be honest all the way around with all different things. Okay, and Linda says in here, being honest, when you're being honest, and you attract honesty both in your experiences and in the people who are drawn to you in your life. it matters. So remember, we talked about like attracts like. So when you live an honest, authentic life, first of all, you don't have a lot of stress and strife. Things still happen and things come at you, but as long as you're living authentically, they tend to kind of just slide off and roll off of you. And as long as you're living in this authentic place, that's what you're going to draw into your life. I'll share one more thing with you that Amanda and I, when we were talking about this the other day, she reminded me of another saying that I have from our AA program is, you're only as sick as your secrets. And that is, if you tell a lie, I hate to use that word because it's such a strong word, but if you tell an untruth, then you need to remember what that untruth is. And the more untruths you have to remember, the more out of alignment you are with your authentic self, and the more stress you create for yourself, which can bring our energy levels down, right? So if you live in a space where you speak your truth, not only to others, but to yourself, then you don't ever have to remember anything. You're creating a whole new plane of just beautiful open, I think of like just this open field of beautiful flowers, right? That it's just this beautiful space of allowing and creating versus, something that you have to remember. I told this person, or I told that person this, and oh, what did I say? And oh, I can't remember. You don't have to remember anything. You can just be, and just being is beautiful. So I will share one. This one's a little bit long, but I think it kind of hits home as to what I was saying. So where are you comparing yourselves to others and judging yourself against what you believe they offer and represent? If you're doing that, just know that all may not be as it seems. Many people have different personas given what situation they are in. Many people wear a mask that represents what they want you to believe. That would mean that you're comparing yourself to something that is not authentic. Just an FYI. So no comparisons. Just be you and be authentically you. And then you're also going to draw other authentic people into your life, and you all can go dancing in this big, beautiful open field of flowers, right? Anyway, I hope that wasn't too metaphorical for you. This was a longer one today, but I think it's an important subject. So I hope it makes sense to you guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll look forward to tomorrow's. Bye.